At the moment we're at the Australian Emergency Management Institute, where AMSA runs the majority of its training for the managers of marine pollution incidents. The Maritime Environment Division of AMSA is responsible for, managing the environmental impacts from shipping. And my particular area is dealing with oil spills and chemical spills from ships and managing the impacts of those spills. We need to make sure that the people who are in charge of responses or managing the responses or working within the responses are actually trained to do the jobs that they do. The work is actually not their normal business, and what we're teaching them is how to go from that normal business to deal with the emergency situations. The things that we're teaching them here are about leadership in emergency situations, how to undertake planning, how to work with stakeholders, how to deal with the political and other strategic contexts that affect incidents.
We now turn to breaking news. An oil tanker has run aground and is leaking crude oil into Western Port Bay, 60 kilometres southwest of Melbourne. Local communities are bracing for the worst as response crews race to protect the sensitive marine environment.
The guys at the moment are in there actually undertaking the initial stages of, or simulating the initial stages of the planning cycle for an incident. So they're evaluating the situation, which in this case is a fictitious scenario. They're determining what the priorities there are that need to be managed in that incident, and starting to actually frame out what they're going to do and how they're going to go about it. I think the courses are extremely important to actually teach these people what they need to do when an incident occurs, but not only what to do, how to think about the situation, how to assess it, and how to manage the operations on an ongoing basis.
So it's a course that's designed at a diploma level to prepare those with a likely role as a controller from an AMSA or harbour or maritime point of view to actually effectively respond and provide fairly senior control in accordance with arrangements and plans in the event of a large or significant oil spill that might impact a harbour or the coast or within the response zone for AMSA.
It's now 2 p.m. And then most of the oil actually impacts on the model. Remember, it's only a model. At about 4 p.m. On that part of Summers Beach, if you know Victoria at all. As I said, that's about 20 k's of beach along there. It's a fair bit of shoreline.
We try and be realistic, so we don't sort of paint a rosy picture for them like it'll be fine, because in the initial hours and probably days it won't be. It'll be chaotic, be uncontrolled, and their role is to be confident, establish control, and also put an appropriate management structure in place under their control to effectively respond to the incident that's actually unfolding. So we don't actually paint any sort of unnecessary pictures around how easy it might be, because it won't be, and it never is. We're quite proud of our relationship with AMSA. It's taking steps as we go by. So we make sure that we provide, like this course, the appropriate level 3 controller doctrine, and we obviously make sure that whilst providing a generic set of principles and guidelines and generic content, it's overlaid with the maritime oil spill harbour master considerations that would be required of level 3 controller operating in those environments.
It's a great course. It's really interesting. I know they've done a lot of work changing the format of it in the last few months, and the training section has put a lot of effort into it. Seems to sort of a real change in focus to the leadership aspects of of large-scale emergencies and crises. So yeah, it's been very interesting. They are sort of low-frequency, high-consequence events. Quite often there's actually a large number of small spills that don't require a large response at the level that we're training for here. But basically, when you do have a large response that's up at a sort of a level 3 event, which is what we're training for here, the impacts are widespread and disastrous, and effective response is extremely important in sort of minimising that impact and getting the community back to normal as fast as possible. The interesting part is learning to deal with uncertainty. Marine pollution events, by their nature, have large amount of uncertainty associated with them, and learning to sort of take that on board, and also the experience of the people that are in your team to help you manage that. It's been a pretty valuable experience here.